Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy Winning Wednesday to each and every one of you. So by now you probably have noticed looking out my windows that my background looks different, and that's because I'm not at home. I am actually at the Bowie Health Campus emergency room. I had to bring my mom over here because she was doing her orientation for where she's going to be doing her, I think it's cardiopulmonary physical therapy. I think that's what you call it. Well, one of the things is once you get ready to, they do your blood pressure when you get ready to leave, and her blood pressure was a little elevated, and so they took it several times, and my mom does take blood pressure medicine, and so they were concerned because it was a little on the high side, and because of that we ended up coming over here just so she can be checked out. Now, the good thing is that where it was and where it is now, it has gone down quite a bit. But since she's here, you know, she just wants to be seen, make sure everything is good. But she has taken her medicines for today because she does have blood pressure issues. So I'm just sharing all that with you, just to ask that you keep my family and myself and my family in your prayers. I got a call earlier today telling me that my Aunt Tracy was back in the hospital. She also suffers from high blood pressure, and so she lives in Lansing, Michigan. So just keep my family and I in your prayers. Now let's jump into today's topic because I want to get back inside. So they actually took her to the back in a room. So I said, well, Mom, while you're here waiting for the doctor, I'm going to run outside, get this video done, and I'll come back. This way I can take care of both things. So today's topic, I'm going to be talking about life lessons that hit hard. And this is based on Stoic wisdom. And so before you act, decide. Y'all, that's powerful. Can I say that one more time? Because that is so powerful. Before you act. And if you hear my fan running, y'all, it's 72 degrees. It was 68 for the longest time. And it's a little chilly. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I have my heat on because I'm a little chilly. And you know, if you go into these emergency rooms and outpatient centers or whatever you call them, it's a bit on the chilly side. So if you hear my fan blowing, that's why. Now, one more time. Let me say it again. Before you act, decide. I'm going to come back and unpack that at the end. And then it goes on to say, before you decide, think. Before you think, focus. One day you will thank yourself for not giving up. Your failure does not define you. Come on now. Your persistence does. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That's powerful. Your comfort zone is killing your potential. To be the best, you must be able to handle the worst. Judge no one. Y'all, I love this one. Judge no one. Just improve yourself. Come on now. And then last but not least, failure is the greatest teacher. And everything I just shared with you will be in the description box. But I wanted to go and unpack these just a little bit, and then I promise I'm going to bid you good day. So I love it when it starts out by saying, before you act, decide. And before you decide, think. Before you think, focus. You guys, when I say we, I mean people in general. We have a habit of acting and not thinking things through. This is why you have so many people who are incarcerated. We have so many people, unfortunately, that are no longer with us because they decided to act, but they didn't think. So you've got to think before you act. You have to say to yourself, okay, if I do this, where will I end up? Will I end up in jail? Will I end up 6 feet under? Will I end up hurt? Will I end up hurting someone? So you really have to think before you act. But before you can think, you've got to focus. Are you really focused? And when I say focus, what I'm saying is I need you to focus on what it is. No, let me say this. You got to focus long term. So in other words, you say to yourself, okay, Michelle, you know what? I could do A, B, C, X, Y, Z, but will I be able to get to the place that I want to end up? Because if I act now and do ABC, XYZ may never come for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you've got to stay focused. And when I say stay focused on your goal. Stay focused on the end result. And if you allow yourself to get sidetracked, you're not going to get where it is you want to go. But then it says, your failure does not define you. Your persistence does. A lot of times we allow our failures to define us. Or I should say it this way, a lot of time people want to define you by your failures. Okay, so your business didn't work out, the job didn't work out, the relationship didn't work out, and the list can go on and on and on. And it's even worse. I mean, that's bad, but it's even worse when we allow our failures to define who we are. Okay, so what, your relationship didn't work? That doesn't mean you're unlovable. It just means that person probably wasn't the right one for you, or you all weren't a good match for each other. Maybe the business did not work out. So that just means that wasn't the business for you, or it just wasn't the right time. Because sometimes we have to, well, not sometimes, we have to remember that we have to remember that timing is everything. You can start a business tomorrow, but if it's not the right time for that business, it's not going to last. Whereas if you wait until, let's say, the first of the year, it might be the perfect time and the business will flourish. But it's all about timing. Now, also, when it talks about giving a man a fish, and this is in the Bible, you guys. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That is so true. See, this is what I think people don't stop to think about when folks ask for money. Can I get a couple of dollars? Sure, I can give you a couple of dollars, and it'll give you some food for today. It'll give you something to drink for today. But if I give you a job, come on now, I'm going to feed you, I'm going to say for a lifetime, because I'm thinking long term in terms of retirement and all that good stuff. But do you understand where I'm going with that? If I give you a couple of dollars, that's great. But if I give you a job, that's even greater. And then your comfort zone is killing your potential. I can't stress this enough, you guys. Some of you are allowing your comfort zone to keep you where you are. And you feel stuck. You feel stagnant. You're not going anywhere. Why? Because you won't step outside of your comfort zone. And in order to grow, you've got to step outside of your comfort zone. If I had never made the decision that I wanted to start my own YouTube channel and my own podcast because I was nervous about what people would think, what would they say, will they like it, then I would never have gotten started. But because I stepped outside of my comfort zone, I'm now doing something that I truly love doing, and that's motivating people on a broader scale, because I motivate people that I don't even know, I've never met, and chances are I probably never will get a chance to meet, but I get to motivate them on a daily basis, be it my posts that I put on Facebook. I have 2 Facebook groups I post in, and I have 2 Instagram pages that I post to. I also have 4 podcast platforms and a YouTube channel. So I am able to touch so many people. Why? Because I decided to step outside of my comfort zone. So I want to challenge you today. Step outside of your comfort zone and see how far you get to go. And to be the best, you must be able to handle the worst. If you can't handle the worst, you're never going to make it further than the end of the block. And it's as simple as that. In order to be the best, you've got to be able, excuse me, my eyes itching, to handle the worst. Judge no one, just improve yourself. First of all, you shouldn't be judging anybody, because the Bible says, judge not, lest ye be judged. First, and then secondly, you don't have a pot or a window. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So stop judging other people. Only God can judge us. Now, I know people judge us all the time, but their judgment doesn't count. The only judgment that counts is the judgment that comes from God. And see, people have to understand, too, that while you're out here judging people, somebody's out here judging you as well. So y'all stop judging folks, okay? See, here's the thing. I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave that alone. When we judge people, we know about the skeletons in their closet. They can't judge you because they don't know about your skeleton. So keep that in mind when you're judging people based on what you know. I digress. Lastly, failure is the greatest teacher. I cannot stress enough how failure is the greatest teacher. We like to think that success is the greatest teacher. Failure is the greatest teacher. And the reason why it's the greatest teacher is because when we fail at anything, doesn't matter what it is, when we fail at anything, you learn so much. You can go back to the drawing board and say, okay, you know what? I tried it this way. So now let me try it that way. And if that fails, you can take the bits and pieces that work from both and mesh those things together. And it still may not be a total success, but at least you know what doesn't work. So failure is, in fact, your greatest teacher. Do you know how many people had to fail in relationships in order to get the right one? Do you know how many people had to fail at that business idea in order to get the right thing? So look at failure as a way of teaching you what not to do. Remember I talked about not too long ago, you always have to find the good in everything, because there's something good in everything. It doesn't matter how bad it may be. It could be worse, okay? So keep that in mind and you'll be all right. Y'all listen, that's it. That's all. I'm going to wrap this up so I can get on inside and go back to where my mom is and see if the doctors come back to see her yet, because fingers crossed we can get on home. Like I said, just since we got here, her blood pressure's come down a great deal. But we just wanted to make sure everything is okay before we actually go home. So like I said, fingers crossed, everything is great and we can get on up out of here sooner rather than later, because this sister girl is on the tired side, okay? But it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Life is still good. I told you, I wake up every morning. I say to myself, Lord, today is going to be a great day no matter what. Doesn't matter what happened. Doesn't matter what somebody says, what they don't say, what they do or what they don't do. It is still going to be a great day. Now, having said that, if you're new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully something I said resonates with you and helps you to change up the way you see things or just change your life in general, okay? And not only that, I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure you come back on Friday where I'll have another motivational topic for you. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. You know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, you guys. Enjoy the rest of this winning Wednesday. Keep winning. Enjoy the rest of it. If you're going out, have fun. Have fun, all of that good stuff. Just be careful. Be careful where you're going, who you're hanging out with, all that other good stuff. Just be safe. That's all I want you to promise me, is that you will be safe as you're having fun. Now, I don't know where you are, but here in the DMV area, it has been drizzling all day long. Can I just tell you that? It finally has stopped, so that's the other thing. I'm hoping I get home before the rain starts again. My feet got a little wet getting out the car, getting into the building, but you know what? It could be worse. So I'm just going to be thankful that I can go home and take these damn shoes off, damn socks and shoes off, and put my feet up and rest somewhere, okay? Now, having said all that, y'all know the drill. You definitely know the spiel. I love you to the moon and back, and there's nothing, I mean absolutely nothing that you can ever do to change that, because it won't change. I love you all so much. I want nothing but the best for you. The best is out here. Always remember that. The best is waiting for you. The best is waiting for me. The best is waiting for us. Love you all. We'll talk again on Friday.